So one of the things about this chapter that I definitely say was somewhat controversial among many things, because in all honesty, Naruto Gaiden, it feels as though each and every week it plays with the fandom, and I think it works so well because we've had 700 chapters of exposition giving us everything and investing our time with these characters. So that's probably why each and every week is like just a big shock with whatever happens. It's like, yo, this happened and that character's doing this, and it just really has just so much backing. So whenever new things occur, it's like, holy fucking shit. But I think Sakura in this chapter had a very big subtle thing that kind of can drive a wedge into the whole theory of who Sarada's real mom, because it looked as though she had a baby bump in one of the panels where she's standing next to Sasuke in the flashback, and this probably happened, I'm guessing, what, about 12 years ago, before Sarada was born, obviously. So to me, first of all, that was confirmation Sasuke ain't a piece of shit. He was on a mission the entire time. Granted, he still could have at least buzzed in, said, hey, I'm somewhere in the world, I love you guys or whatever, but at the very least, he somewhat cared about his daughter, and he just was doing this as, a mission, whatnot. But okay, if that was indeed a baby bump and that wasn't a shitty drawing or, shitty scanlation or whatever, then there's a couple theories you could go with. You could go with the fact that, yeah, Sarada is Sakura's daughter. The glasses came from Karin, and maybe, like, they became good friends, and in honor of Karin dying, maybe Karin died at some given point, she was like, alright, you know what, I want to remember her, or maybe Sasuke wanted to remember her, and they gave her the glasses. That could be easily explained as that. It could be something a little bit darker. Maybe Sakura had a miscarriage, and Karin had a daughter, and Karin died, but they decided to raise her daughter for her. So that's another option, but that's highly unlikely. I don't see in Naruto somebody having a miscarriage. That just seems a little bit too out there. So the chances now are very high that, unfortunately, and I gotta say that Sakura is indeed the mama. And you can also see as well in this chapter, current day, that Sasuke does care for his daughter, because even when he was standing right there, when he realized, oh shit, that's actually Sarada, he looked like he went to reach out to her, and she was so scared, so he was like, let me stop, but he reached out to her as if like, holy shit, that is my daughter, and you can see that he does genuinely care. So Sasuke, after this chapter, after the explanation of what he was doing, not that big of a piece of shit as I thought. Again, granted, could have said something, bro, but yeah. Oh, by the way, Cho-Cho's still annoying as fuck. Just throwing that in there. And it kind of makes me wonder, I really wish we could have just got so much explanations as to what happened in between things, because you see Sasuke is standing side by side with Naruto as well as Sakura during one of the Kage meetings. So how did it go from him being a wandering vagabond around the world to the point of him standing at a Kage meeting when, obviously it's for Kage, and, Sakura's there as well. I don't know what the fuck she's doing there, get her out of there. But Sasuke, to a certain point, something had to happen to bring him back. Now in this chapter, during that meeting or whatever, he did tell Naruto, you wanted cooperation, right? So I'm cooperating. What I'm guessing is at some given point Naruto ran into Sasuke again, or seen Sasuke again, seeked him out or whatever, and was like, yo, haven't you been gone enough? Haven't you been roaming around the world enough? Haven't you got the answers you were looking for? Can you come back at least and, help us out? And I would love to see a flashback of that. I think that would be fucking great. And honestly, I think one of the reasons why Gaiden is so interesting as well for us is that it's still giving you the Sarada, it's giving you the Cho-Cho, it's giving you, the new characters, but it's not completely saying fuck the old characters and not showing them or whatever, and that's what's more intriguing. It's like, it's almost as if it's really not a spin-off and it's just like a time skip. So I think that's what's making it more exciting as well. Now the biggest thing, when it was mentioned of Sasuke, when he was talking about the Zetsu army that was created long ago, and this threat that's even bigger than Kaguya Otsutsuki. Who could this potentially be? A lot of theories going around. Some people are saying that the one thing that people never want to give up is Hidan's leader. I think it was Hashin. I might be mistaken, forgive me. But people are saying maybe it was him that's been doing this all along. Now, the thing is, as well, if that bald guy with all the Sharingan eyes is, obviously he's a big dog, but there might be a dog even bigger than him. This could potentially be yet again like what happened with Pain being seemingly the leader, but then Obito was above all of this, because this guy, it's really pointing heavily towards him being Shisui Uchiha, and if he was a threat bigger than Kaguya, but the white Zetsu army been controlled all along, like, honestly, it could potentially be that one of the reasons Kaguya did what she did back in the day and why Kishimoto left it a mystery and everything, maybe she was making an army to go and fight whoever was, getting ready to attack or something. So I wouldn't be surprised if this bald guy isn't actually the leader. Maybe he's controlling things for now, but behind the scenes, Hashin is above all of this. And again, it would be a little bit of somewhat rehash of what we've seen before, but honestly, it just sounds fucking exciting. And if that is Shisui Uchiha, my gosh, what happened to your honor, bro? I mean, the only way I could see him being this hateful towards Sasuke and wanting to do these things is he doesn't know all the facts. He doesn't know that Itachi gave his life for Sasuke. And even then, wouldn't you still have enough respect that Itachi left his little brother alive because he cared for him? So why would you go and fuck up the memory of what he did, what he sacrificed, killing all of his family, his entire clan, and go kill his little brother? That kind of makes it like, if that is Shisui, damn, bro, how you fallen. But then again, look what happened to Obito. I mean, these Uchiha motherfuckers are just, woo! Oh, and by the way, I actually thought of a third theory regarding Sakura with the baby bump. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe she wrapped a pillow around and was trying to lock Sasuke down like, I am pregnant, motherfucker. And that still is Karin's daughter. I'm just saying. Also, pacing is extremely fast. I will say that, like, you can tell Kishimoto don't want to be doing this much longer because, I mean, just look at it, for example, in this chapter, what happened. Sarada met Sasuke for the first time. I mean, it happened at the end of the last chapter, but they had a little conversation. He kind of was a dick saying, you know, I can't tell you anything, even though he could have just said, I've been on a mission. That's really all he needed to say without giving the details or whatever. I've been on an important mission, but we got that. We got the flashback of Sasuke talking about this threat that's bigger than Kaguya Otsutsuki, the final villain of the entire series, kind of getting a little bit of a hint that that was a baby bump on Sakura. And then the revival of the Akatsuki. Now, this dude right here, one of the things I gotta say is that while it's fucking epic as shit and it's just exciting and it just feels like the olden days again, you gotta look at it in a certain way as well. It's like, dude, why are you trying to live off the hype of a group that existed long ago? Wouldn't it be just more fucking like your own lane if you just went on your own path and made your own group? Why are you trying to use, like, the only thing I can think of is that he's trying to instill fear in people, which kind of makes sense. And again, it kind of goes along the lines of what Obito did with creating the Akatsuki and everything, like to instill fear and using the name Madara Uchiha because everybody was scared. So using the name the Akatsuki returned, people are going to quiver in their fucking boots. And quickly looking at it, when he was standing right there, he had a lot of minions. And if you look at one of them, which wasn't Shin, by the way, he looked a lot like Shin from the back with that fucking Celebi looking head. So these are probably all creations. Maybe Shin is something along the lines of Shisui eventually had a child that almost died and turned him into that, and that's why he feels like that's his father and that's why he keeps him close, but the rest of them are just clones or something. But you could definitely see. And one of the big things that I was thinking to myself personally why it could potentially be Shisui is the whole thing with the arm that looked like Danzo's arm. Who killed this motherfucker? If anything, he stole the idea. Like, alright, fuck this motherfucker. He killed me. I'm going to steal his ideas. I'm going to put Sharingans even in my asshole. So maybe that's another huge hint that this is him. And I mean, there was a panel that he was looking sideways and it looked almost identical to one of the panels of Shisui. And again, it kind of feels tragic. Like, just like Obito, it's like, how do you die such an amazing and honorable death and come back to be the biggest scumbag in the world? It's like Under the Red Hood all over again. Batman reference in case you couldn't, you know, get it. And then to top it all off, we got a fucking epic cliffhanger with Naruto and Sasuke getting ready to fight Shin's father and Shin and all this shit, like epic as hell. So really awesome ending, a lot of fucking awesome and exciting stuff, some hints here or there, possibly Sakura being the legit mother or whatever. And honestly, just yet again, Gaiden kicking fucking ass 5 chapters in a row, and every chapter has given us huge advancement and really exciting stuff. I honestly have nothing really, aside from like maybe this dude being kind of corny, and if it is Shisui, that's fucked up of how he abandoned his ideals as well, but it's just really fucking awesome stuff, honestly. It's just very good. Like, this chapter, between an 8 to a 9 or whatever. Very good yet again. Arguing, if I had to say a flaw, definitely the pacing is a bit too fast for my personal taste. I would like things to be a little bit more slower, but Kishimoto wants to just get this out the door, and he's going really quick. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, do you think that that's a good enough reason for Sasuke to be a deadbeat dad, that he was on a mission this entire time? Like, do you think he couldn't have just fucking said, hey, I love you, I'm gone for a mission, but I love you guys? Also, what do you think? Is that a baby bump on Sakura? How do you feel about this whole Shin thing? Do you think that, like, it kind of reminded me as well, because I think there was like 6 of them or something. Maybe he's like replicating the 7 paths of pain, like he wants to do an identical replication of the Akatsuki, which again, it kind of feels like, use your own lane, bro. But do you think that that's indeed Shisui at this particular point, and he was copying off Danzo with the arm full of Sharingan? And also, I mean, it's clear as day, it has to be that either he's using, maybe he got his hands on a Rinnegan, don't ask me how, and that's how he's replicating, using the Sharingan all over to have everybody have them, or he got into Obito's lab, although it still wouldn't explain how he's using Kamui, which Kamui should have left when Obito fucking disintegrated into his little creepy heaven with his creepy lover or whatever. So what's up with that? Do you think that that's all there, or what's going on? And your overall thoughts of the chapter. Honestly, Naruto Gaiden has just been fucking amazing, and I'm really loving every chapter of it. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. Greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.